Can you upload your brain into a computer so you can then live forever? As it turns out, kinda maybe, but you gotta do it right. One of my followers texted me this. He texts me stuff like this and dank memes. It's great. So basically, the idea is to plug your brain in to something like a Neuralink and then upload everything that makes you from your brain into a supercomputer, which will be you, and maybe you got a robot too or whatever, but it's a computer brain that is now yours. However, there's a big problem with this. The thing that was on the computer would be a perfect copy of your brain. But really, you wouldn't have that continuation of experience. So from your perspective, unless they kept you alive and then had that copy, it would just be like dying for you. And then there'd be a copy out in the world living forever. However, I got a workaround for that. But before I get to that, this is actually very similar to a big issue in Star Trek. Have you heard of the Star Trek transporters? It's these things here. Basically, it's on a spaceship, you stand on this little pad, you press a few buttons, and it teleports you to a planet or another ship or wherever you're trying to go, and then back again later. The thing about it is, it's making a perfect copy of you, including your mind, and placing it wherever it needs to go, and then it's destroying the you that you started as. So every time these guys went through this, from their perspective, they died. And there's no way to disprove that, by the way, because the new person that shows up thinks it's them, even though they were just born, basically. But there is a workaround for uploading your mind, not so much for this. The problem is, everyone wants to do this too quickly. The workaround is to do it gradually. And I'll explain what that means, but what it's doing is mimicking the natural both life cycle and development cycle of the human mind that's led to you. What do I mean by that? So you hook yourself up through the Neuralink to the computer, and then slowly over time, it will take over and merge with you, giving you new mental abilities and taking over current brain functions for you. And as it happens over time, section by section of your brain, of your consciousness being merged with this machine, when it finally gets to the point that there's nothing left in that body, you have that continuation of experience of being this machine the whole time. And so you do not die, you become just that machine, and it feels very natural to you, and you're in the computer and you can live forever. But the beauty of this is it truly does mimic what happens in your natural body anyways, because the cells in your body, including your brain, get replaced every so often. So the cells you had in your brain when you were born aren't the same ones you have now, but yet you're the same person. And it's exactly the same idea. It's a slow process. If you replaced all the cells in your brain at one time, you'd have the same issue. But you don't. It's slow, so it works. Isn't that great? Live forever.